I tried to be politically correct so that, I could be more PC, so that I could be a lot more like the general population and say the thing that everybody want us to say. But I can't. I can't. I have to be transparent. I have to be honest. No matter what happens, I have to absolutely be transparent and honest with my thoughts. And it's uncomfortable being in this position. It really is. It genuinely is. Because I know that no matter what I say, the hyenas is going to feel some type of way about it. That's not my problem. That's their problem. It's not my problem. It's their problem. And nobody wants to have the uncomfortable conversation because everybody is scared to tell the truth. But can we say the quiet part out loud? Can we be absolutely real and transparent? Now, let me preface this, and I'm only going to say this one time before we start cooking. Shout out to Trap and Slay. Shout out to everybody that's out here in the streets. Let me preface this by saying that I absolutely disagree with putting your hands on anybody. And that should go without saying because nobody is ever going to justify the behavior of negativity. Keep your hands to yourself, especially men. Keep your hands to yourself. Don't put your hands on another man. Don't put your hands on a woman. Don't put your hands on nobody. Women, keep your hands to yourself. And so nobody supports the behavior. Nobody supports what we see in the aftermath of making a bad decision. But that's the part that we're not having a conversation about. We're not really talking about the bad decision. We're only talking about the end result. Forget the new lawsuit from the people that's chasing from over 20 years ago, from people acting like they did something. We don't care nothing about that here. We only care about the truth, the culture, what our cultural norms are, how you even get in this situation in the first place. And the truth is, women often at times, more often than not, pick their fate. Now, obviously, nobody know that they're gonna get their ass whooped. And so if they did, they probably would make a better decision. But that's one of the beauties of being human is that we can't predict the future, but we can lean on examples from yesteryear in order to really understand what we're getting ourselves into. And guess what? Humans are idiots because we always keep doing the same thing over and over again. We have more data, more historical analysis, more aunties, more uncles, more insight into what happened in the people of yesteryear and what the consequences is going to be as a result of it. We've seen it time and time again, over and over again. And you know what happens? The good guy always loses out. And I'm always surprised at all of this conversation because everybody is talking about, oh my God, CNN released the footage and shit like that, and it's so horrible. True, true. But that's only 5% of the conversation. What happened to the other 95% that people don't want to have a conversation about because it's not politically correct to do so? The other 95% of the conversation is how did she get herself into a situation in the first place? I'm not even talking about the fact that you stayed for over 10 years and there was people around you that ultimately seen some of this happening because this didn't happen in a silo. Puffy wasn't out there doing her makeup after he did whatever it is that he did to her. Everybody that was around him was familiar with it, but forget about that part. Let's rewind a little bit more. Hoppo, who are these people? And how did they come to being in the same vicinity in the first place? Oh, you wonder? Okay, well, let's revisit it. There was this guy named Ryan Leslie that everybody just keeps forgetting about. That is eerily quiet. Ain't nobody reaching out to Ryan Leslie for an interview. Ain't nobody asking what's going on, right? Ryan Leslie has fallen off the map and completely disappeared into oblivion. The last thing we heard of Ryan Leslie was he had did like a Forbes or a Wall Street Journal interview where he was talking about the music industry and how you can hack it. And the dude is literally a genius. Let's break down who Ryan Leslie is since nobody wants to say the quiet part out loud. Nobody really wants to have the uncomfortable conversation. And so let's break it down all the way down to its last molecule. Who is Ryan Leslie? Because Ryan Leslie, see, we're gonna put all of these people in roles. We're gonna put the woman, the villain, and the nice guy. Okay. This is called the woman, the villain, and the nice guy. Okay. Now, Ryan Leslie, he fills the role of the nice guy. You know why? Because nice guys finish last, or do they? Because this is a tale of what the possibilities are. See, everything that we see now happened as a result of a butterfly effect. I almost believe, and if you really start to look at it and you research some of these things, because I go really, really deep in my own private time, I think that honestly, similarly to how it is that we understand it to be in the Marvel timeline or the universe, maybe there's multiple different universes, infinite universes where we exist, and there's infinite possibilities and different things and different outcomes depending on what we choose, because we don't know how cruel the beings that made us are, and this could all just be a simulation. Who knows? But let's explore this. In another timeline, let's say he gets the girl. In another timeline, maybe he never even meets Cassie. But in this timeline, let's explore the possibilities of two different outcomes, right? Ryan Leslie, good guy. Who is this guy? He graduated from Harvard. Ryan Leslie, a black man, musical genius, savant. I remember when I first started discovering Ryan Leslie, and he used to do those videos on the internet, and he used to make his. It was so he was so ahead of his time musically. Ryan Leslie graduated from Harvard, know how to articulate himself correctly, came in just purely based off of his own talent, didn't have really any promotion or anything like that, came in the game, made a name for himself. Nipsey Hussle, who you guys love, you adore, you absolutely love Ryan Leslie. I mean, Nipsey Hussle, y'all love Nipsey Hussle. You know who Nipsey Hussle connected with in order to really understand how he can monetize his brand in the music game? He sourced it from Ryan Leslie. Listen, let's really get into the details of this thing so we can understand the full context of how this thing came to be. I know y'all don't want to have this conversation. I know that it's something that's uncomfortable for us to talk about, because the only thing that matters is, oh my God, the footage, react to the footage, react to the footage, react to the footage. But don't nobody really want to say the quiet part out loud. We're going to talk about it real quick. Ryan Leslie, pioneer, literally redid what the game was supposed to be, especially first in the social media era where we started using video, all access, use it to promote itself, started to become a household name, went independent, pioneered the pay to play link. Nipsey Hussle was smart enough and wise enough, and his whole crew was wise enough to tap into this Harvard graduate musical savant, can sing, literally play almost 1,000 different instruments, had his own studio, put his own money up. Dude is a genius, and he's a nice guy.